with, if you see the title, at least I hope the title updated correctly. I said BTL Season 12, Week 4, Day 16, because it has been 2 weeks that we had been waiting for this matchup between Barber's Fan Club and MG Element. And finally, it is here. Whenever this matchup was first happening, it was heralded to be the matchup of the 2 titans. I think they were both like undefeated at the time. Since then, the ranks, it's kind of funny because since then, the standings have changed a little bit. These are no longer the 2 powerhouse teams, but still supposed to be a hype matchup. I am joined here on the desk by Crewman, who will be our play-by-play, and I will be your producer, host, commentary, color, just the guy that does the thing.
The guy.
Just the guy. And we are here into the draft. Oh, also, I wanted to mention that you'll see that there is one blank ban for Barber's Fan Club. Since this is Barber's Fan Club's second requested reschedule of the season, they do lose their first ban in every single one of these games of this best of 3.
Yeah, that's right, Etoe. Excited to be here for some Monday Night League. Happy to join the guy on this cast. It's going to be some very exciting stuff. And yeah, interestingly, both of these teams, as you kind of mentioned already, they are not at the peak of their glory, if you will. They were looking a little bit stronger, those couple of weeks ago. But interestingly, their most recent loss, I believe, for both of these squads actually was against the top dog here in the BTL and Team DPS. So, it's a difficult opponent. And yeah, it's definitely, everybody's been losing to them, right? So can be tough. But Barber's Fan Club, I think, going by where we are in the standings now, this is going to be a little bit of a difficult battle for them. But MG Element have also dropped their last couple of matches, so it could be a great opportunity for the fan club to try and start climbing back up here. But that missed ban that you mentioned is going to make a difficult opponent that much harder.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever you're going up against the difficult firms, we have King Annihilator has some champions that is well known for those assassins in the mid lane. Venom is a high elo jungler for the side of. I'm not sure if we've seen much of Venom. I have to go back through. But Venom is one of the. I think he's rated as D1 right now for MG Element. So definitely does suck to not have all of your bans. That could make this a little bit more of a difficult matchup. But it's cool. It's cool to see that these teams can help get themselves in form as we reach the as we approach the playoffs. So it's just good matchup. We've been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It is going to be the Kaisa locked in very early here for Barber's Fan Club. It could potentially be a flex pick. Could see that go into the mid lane, I think, for Nukes there. Has been playing a little bit of the Kaisa mid, 3-0 on it, actually, according to op.gg. So that is definitely a possibility. Lots of jungle focus in the bans here coming out from MG Element, really trying to target the jungler for the fan club here, taking away the Diana and the Kindred. We know he likes to look towards those more flashy junglers, and the Zac locked in presumably for runner 90 there on the red side, and the Shyvana response. That's very interesting. I think Shyvana is in a really good spot right now. She's actually quite strong.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. But she's actually doing pretty decent things in the jungle these days. And I think the matchup into the Zac, while not necessarily favorable for the Shyvana, it is going to allow her to clear her camps in those first few rotations, I think, fairly comfortably.
And that could be very significant.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the main weaknesses of Shyvana, right? Is she's so weak in the early game before she has access to that dragon form. She's very vulnerable to getting preyed on by any strong early junglers. And Zac, he does have a very fast clear, but he's not necessarily known as like this big invader who's gonna come into your jungle and like kill you and take your buff. And so I think the Dragon Lady should be looking pretty okay. Last pick of the round 1 there, the Blitzcrank for MG Element. What do you think about that pairing with the Jinx, Etoe? That Jinx Blitzcrank lane. It's not something that I feel like we see all that often.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always hype to see a Blitzcrank in general whenever I see a Blitzcrank picked in competitive, because it really means that you're kind of all in. I always feel like whenever I don't play much, whenever I see a Blitzcrank, I always feel like it's hit the pull or do literally nothing. So it's like it's all in on the pull. It's kind of like a feast or famine to me is a Blitzcrank lane, because if you're not hitting the pull, but also you just need to hit one sometimes. Like one pull can change the entirety of the game. I think if you get that right pull in that right situation at that right time, that can completely swing the momentum of the game and of a team fight. So I love Blitzcrank. Also, maybe we see some level 1 shenanigans. I'm always a fan of that too. See, we saw some interesting level 1 plays last night by Team Ishtar. where they had a Singed and they just ran up top lane and Singed just ran at the person and flipped them into the team and they just instantly died. And then second game they had a Nunu and they had a Nunu mid and they used the snowball into the enemy jungle at level 1. It was honestly hilarious. So I would love to, I love to see that type of stuff. So love to see if they have fun with it. The Fiora.
Do love me a spicy level 1 Etoe. Blitzcrank, one of the best in the game at it. So definitely hope we see that. And he actually is known as a little bit of a counter pick into the Thresh there as well, because Thresh does root himself, of course, when he throws his hook, and then Blitzcrank can just respond and grab the Thresh. So it can look pretty good there.
I wonder if
Fiora
does that go both ways? If Blitzcrank is hooking, can Thresh do the same, or is Blitzcrank more mobile off the hook?
Yeah, Blitzcrank's hook just has a faster cast time.
That's fair.
He doesn't root himself for he doesn't like self-root. Yeah, when he exactly, yeah. So it's generally considered to be favorable for the crank, but you know, definitely can be tricky, especially if the Thresh player is smart with their positioning. And the Fiora, very spicy blind there for Venom, really throwing down the gauntlet, and then the Jax counter pick. So opting into the skill matchup here for the Fanclub. Gonna be really exciting to watch that top lane. And then the Ezreal locked in for Pixel Wolf in the bottom side. That is extremely defensive, but when you're against a Blitzcrank, guess I don't really blame her.
Yeah, that's very fair. So that, I think that will mean that it is in fact going to be Kai'Sa mid then.
Yes, yeah, certainly. I kind of saw that one coming as soon as I saw it locked in. I was looking at the match history before the game, and I was like, he's gonna play the Kai'Sa mid, isn't he? He's just pulling it out in solo queue earlier today.
Interesting mid lane, I think.
Yeah, they saved over here on the side of MG Element very intelligently. I think they saved a counter pick for mid lane actually, so they could wait until the end and absolutely confirm that Kai'Sa was going mid. And then the LeBlanc is going to be the counter pick of choice here for the King of the Annihilators. Going to be very interesting to see if he can put down some early pressure here onto Nukes and really try and keep this Kai'Sa on the ground, not allow her to get to that 2-item spike where that poke becomes so oppressive.
True, and now that we do see the LCS order the teams have lined up, I was saying first like, oh, these teams are lined up rather randomly, but now we see it will be Patrick Jones in the top lane for Barber's Fanclub, more Sleep in the jungle, Nukes in the mid lane. That is a master jungle and a master mid lane. We do know Barber's Fanclub is the min-max team of the league, and that is Pixel Wolf and LC Bane in the bot lane. Over on the right side, we see Venom in that top lane, as you were saying before. It looks like they were already in LCS order. Renner 90 in the jungle, King Annihilator in the mid lane. Out of blue, team captain out of blue on ADC, late game carry. But I always thought it was interesting that their support name is late game carry. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, Blitzcrank can carry if he gets that big hook. You were already talking about it, Etoe. So, you know what? We'll just have to see if that one comes through. Could be very exciting stuff. But let's talk a little bit more about these team compositions. I'm looking over here at the Fanclub, and I gotta say, Etoe, I'm a little bit concerned, actually, because I feel like they have no options in the early game, like, whatsoever. Kai'Sa is not really going to do anything. She's just trying to farm up and survive. Shyvana can't do anything until she's level 6. Jax is really weak in the early game. I think there's definitely an opportunity here, specifically for the Zac, but also LeBlanc, if King Annihilator is able to unlock himself from that mid lane, but specifically for the Zac to find some nice early ganks onto some of these not necessarily winning lanes, and really try and get an early advantage for MG Element.
Yeah, and then so like I guess if they are lacking in early game, you could say like, do they make it up in late game? Are they scaling into this game? Are they winning these late game team fights? I'm kind of concerned for that too. They could do like some split push action, I believe, but I'm not sure if I'm happy with them. I think I'm definitely favoring MG Element's comp as I look more at it here. Is the thing that you mentioned?
Yeah.
Where does the jungler go early? I mean, they could again. I'm looking towards the mid jungle duo and seeing for them to try and force some action there, because like I said, that is where the elo of this team is concentrated, and Nukes and More Sleep are insane players. And I mean, I personally haven't seen Kai'Sa mid. I don't know what I haven't really been on the scene paying close attention. I play more Valorant these days on League of Legends, so I'm not sure what to expect from Kai'Sa mid, especially from LeBlanc. In my eyes, I see ADC versus Assassin and think that this can't be amazing, but I'm sure Kai'Sa has some tools. Kai'Sa has her ultimate that can keep her safe. She also probably pushes a lot harder than LeBlanc with her Q and her W, right? So maybe there'll be some pushing and roaming together. Maybe they look for something. Maybe they try to have one of those sidelines push them in. Maybe they can look for stuff bot lane. Thresh is a good gank assister, right? Like with the Lantern and maybe a hook on a relatively immobile Jinx and relatively immobile Blitzcrank. Maybe they can look for something bot lane if they can maybe push and shove and just let top lane battle it out and scale. I will say I am concerned top lane because of, okay, I know we shouldn't look at just pure ranks, but there is a rank discrepancy in top lane. It's like D1 to gold. So Fiora's D1, Patrick Jones, I believe, should be gold. So we'll see. It's a skill matchup is another thing that we were talking about. Like, we'll see how that goes. You know, that can be kind of relatively concerning, but you know, never know. I mean, that will bring us. Go ahead.
I gotta say, I kind of like MG Element's composition as well here, Etoe. I mean, they got counter pick in mid lane. They got counter pick for support. I think the push, waiting to see who actually gets the push in that mid lane, definitely could be a pretty big deal as we get into the first few minutes here. But, you know, you have to also consider if you're pushing up as nukes on this Kai'Sa, you could be very vulnerable to ganks coming through from the Zac also. So you got to be, it's kind of a push and a pull there. It's, you want to be able to pressure the LeBlanc, not allow her to roam and potentially, you know, unlock your own jungler to get some opportunities. But the Zac is so notorious for finding those creative angles in the early game to execute ganks and create advantages. And, you know, the Fiora matchup for Venom up there, the skill diff could end up being pretty impactful as well. So, yeah, but we'll see. You know, the side of Barbara's fan club definitely have some tools. The Kai'Sa mid that you were talking about, you don't really know much about it. It's very difficult to execute, but if you can get to that 2-item power spike on relatively even footing, the Kai'Sa poke does become very, very obnoxious when you have the evolved W. I don't know if you've played much Kai'Sa, Etoe.
Oh, I have not.
Yeah, well, when you evolve the W on Kai'Sa, then you actually reset the cooldown on it whenever you connect onto an enemy champion. So you can really start to spam those out. In a full AP build, those are doing a lot of damage. You can actually two-shot some of these squishy members over here on the other side. So, and Shyvana, you know, has a lot of burst damage as well. Ezreal with the True Shot Barrage can follow up there. So they have some potential to go for some big plays, but it's going to be really tough to execute, I think.
Definitely think that they would be people that should be capable of executing that.
Okay. Well, we're going to be getting into game one pretty shortly, right?
Yes, we are. So we'll be going for a quick 30-second break. I'm going to try to fix the overlay. Hopefully it doesn't look too scuffed, but I mean, we'll just play it as it is, you know. We were just here to have fun and watch some League of Legends. We'll be right back.
I'm here. Looking good. Let's get into it, Etoe. Lots of pings.
Yeah, lots of pings. Oh, hey, camera. Yes. All right, the camera wasn't following us. I need to see this.
Pings all over the place. It's going to be a little bit of a 5-stack for both sides. We're on opposite sides of the map, though, Etoe. So it's looking like we're not going to be doing anybody running into each other here. Yeah.
Oh, they expect. So obviously it looks like the blue team here. It looks like Barb's fan club is expecting Blitzcrank, right? Oh, look, and
Yeah,
now there's
of
the question
course.
mark picks in mid. Yeah, so they're like, that's a Blitzcrank. They're gonna do something level 1, and they did in fact, but on the other side of the map. We see you.
Yeah, it was just looking for the mid laner there, looking
Right.
for nukes to maybe be sleeping a little bit for the 5 point there, but that was not the play that the fan club went for. They went for the 5 stack on their bot side jungle, very defensive to pay off for them, not in any danger of getting hooked there. So it will be just a very normal, very casual bottom side start for both of these junglers, and we'll go from there. No deep vision really for either side.
Probably gonna be. I like to read the chat. I don't know why people don't ban runner Zach. He's played that more than anything this season. You know what? I think we were discussing that yesterday too. There are some. It seems like some teams just aren't. Maybe in playoffs also change, but like some teams are letting players get away with playing the same thing every single game. Like we were talking about Rel for the support for Trebuchet. He's pretty much played Rel like every single game that they've won, and he just keeps getting Rel. And there's like, this man's Rel is incredibly effective. Maybe people don't like, maybe it doesn't pop up as a scary champion because it's a support, so you're not realizing how like effective it is. And I guess it's probably similar to like a tank like Zach. You're not realizing how effective that champion's have because it's not like killing you.
Annihilator gonna land the chain there. Has the ignite, but takes a lot of damage there. Pops the clone, does nukes, and he is definitely gonna be winning out in that trade. Oh, that's a hook landing. Pixel Wolf gets pulled in. The Death Sentence not going to connect, and Ezreal losing all of his health bar. He's ignited one more rocket. He's dead. Pixel Wolf just drops first blood to late game carry on the Crank.
You know what? Late game carry. Early game carry right now.
He's getting started early today.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, you have to...
That damage just takes one, and it was early on.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the hook landed. I was level 2 for the Blitzcrank Jinx side, and Ignite came down right away. Pixel Wolf trying to drink through those potions, but just not quick enough on the reaction there. Even used the heal to try and survive, but wasn't able to, and held on to the flash though. Interestingly, so maybe Pixel Wolf wanting to save that for trying to find an outplay a little bit later on here. Patrick Jones gonna leap in. But not necessarily getting the better end of that. Wave is crashing for him, so the Jax should be able to farm up here underneath his tower. But yeah, I mean, on the Zach point that you were just mentioning earlier, remember, you know, the fan club, they only had 2 bans, so you have to.
That's true.
They didn't have as many options to work with there as LC Bane forcing the flash out. Nice support roam into the mid lane here, nicely done. Gets the flash out of King Annihilator. A lot of early pressure actually coming out from this Kai'Sa. I was not expecting really to see that, Etoe. The Kai'Sa winning out in the early laning phase here, but you kind of I feel like you kind of had a good point about the auto attacks and the Q being able to push the wave. We are kind of seeing that come through, as King Annihilator is going to be totally fine, but he is running out of mana, so maybe another base for the LeBlanc going to be necessary here.
And a player like Nukes will control that wave mid. See, great, just fantastic wave control.
Oh, Zach coming in for the gank, forces the flash out of the Kai'Sa, but gonna land the stretchy strikes beautifully, and runner 90 is gonna pick up another kill. MG Element 2-0 here in the early game.
Oh my God, that looked
going to connect. Yeah, right onto the Crank there, but not able to lock him down long enough. Ezreal's follow up in the first few levels here is not really the greatest. Mystic Shot not on that short of a cooldown yet. Doesn't pack that much of a punch.
Oh, I really expect the Fury to repost that. I guess you don't know when it's gonna go off.
Yeah, it can be tough to predict. Yeah, that is the skill part in this matchup, is trying to outplay the Counter-Strike with the riposte. Now it's gonna come out early now, but Counter-Strike is back up. The slow is enough. Patrick Jones not gonna be able to catch up to the Fiora there. But the wave does look a little bit awkward here. I don't think that's going to crash. Venom gonna have to TP back here and try and fix this wave state, I think.
And yeah, does in fact TP back to lane.
See, just some early vision coming down onto the dragon here. Did just spawn. Our first dragon this game gonna be the mountain, as Jax taking a lot of damage here.
That was a...
Oh, dash back in. The Patrick Jones flashing away. There's... he was looking really good in that fight earlier, but then Venom teleporting back with the full HP bar. able to almost get the solo kill up there.
I was gonna say that was good Vital Strike or Vital RNG for Fiora there. They was just facing her for that first one. Went in for another one as well.
Yeah, it was really, really close. You can see both of these junglers mostly just clearing their camps. We saw like one gank in mid lane for each of them, as well as that gank from the Thresh. That was very nice.
Oh, are they trying to do something here? Late game carry looking for something? Pixel not gonna be interested?
Ezreal is so tough. You know, he has the arcane shift now. It's going to be a lot harder to land that hook as the chain will land. Level 6 for King Annihilator. Going to go for the double chain. Does land. Ignite, not off cooldown, but doesn't need it because he has a jungler. Runner wide in here, 2-0. Now Venom in some trouble. Throws down the Grand Challenge onto the Jax. Gets the healing zone, but the ultimate from More Sleep knocks Fiora off of her Grand Challenge, and they are able to get the kill. Patrick Jones almost dropping there, but the Shyvana able to make that one happen and get a kill on the board for the fan club.
Ooh, and rotating into this objective here. Objective gameplay from MGL.
Yeah, it's going to be, they saw the jungler for the fan club up there on the top side, right? So it's going to be a free dragon. Going, well, not free because I guess they sacrificed their top laner, but it is going to be the first dragon going over to MG Element here. Looks like it's going to be Hextech next. Why are my objective timers not here anymore?
Oh, I see Cloud on my objective timer. It looks like a Cloud.
Okay,
wait, Cloud
I trust,
still?
I believe you.
Wait, yeah, Cloud does still exist. Like, wait, I was like, wait, which one did they take out? I'm not sure if they took one out. They just
yeah, that was Chemtech.
Chemtech.
But
yeah.
why don't I have my objective timers anymore? Do you know?
No idea. No. For me, it's just N. Just the letter N. Put some toggles
Oh, that works.
Bottom right. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Much better. Yeah, it is going to be that Cloud Drake as King Annihilator. We see him going in again, and guess who's here? It's Runner 90 on the Zac. Not going to land the E this time. Don't know if he's going to need it, though. The flash into the Let's Bounce, and Nukes just didn't have any options there. LC Bane almost making it in time with the Lantern, but not quite. More Sleep. Gonna have the Shyvana ultimate up here. I think Zac does have his passive. He's gonna split into the Blob Blitz, but late game carry cannot find the hook, and the Blobs will fall. Shut down for More Sleep on the Shyvana. That is very, very big. A lot of gold in his pocket. Now 2-4 now, as Patrick Jones jumping in. Not gonna get the better end of that one. Oh, that's another E. Almost able to take out King Annihilator there. Yeah, More Sleep. The Shyvana is looking pretty good, as that's aggressive from Patrick Jones. That's a very big minion wave, sir. Fiora is pretty low, but I think she still has the riposte. Counter-Strike comes out, dash away. Patrick Jones taking a tower shot there, but he'll be fine. Oh, this is an aggressive invade, and More Sleep does get the red buff, and he has a Lantern. He's out of there. LC Bane with some nice roams here. This is the power of having Ezreal on your team, right? You can just bail on bot lane. They see Ezreal.
Should be able to stay safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Even versus a Blitzcrank, ironically. All the Blitzcrank is like typically the worst support to leave your ADC against. Blitzcrank will just roll up on them.
Now they're going to land another chain here, going for the double chain, and that one was never in doubt. And that now we're seeing
who the carry is of this team. Like, yeah, let's just focus Nukes.
Yeah, now we're seeing the weakness of that Kai'Sa mid, right? You don't really have any escapes. You have a little bit of mobility with the E there, but LeBlanc, when she just dashes on your face like that and lands the chain, and her jungler is a Zac, very, very little counterplay available for Nukes there. Just honestly had to flash that first chain. That was the only way he was going to survive.
Like I said, ADC life, you are still, and that's what I was saying. It is an ADC versus an assassin. So I was thinking, does it go so well? And if you fall behind, definitely doesn't go so well. If the jungler comes in, like early on was pretty good for Kai'Sa. But like if the assassin gets ahead, if the jungler is messing with the lane, then it's gonna become very, very different.
Here he comes. No chain required this time. Just Zac setting it up. Oh, the R into the flash away. Nukes does use everything in the kitchen sink there, but he is able to keep himself alive and avoids giving over 300 more gold to the LeBlanc.
God, the Zac is a menace for Nukes right now.
Yeah, is Nuke's worst nightmare at this point. Going into the Raptor camp now. Is able to secure those chickens, no problem. Nuke's forced to escape into his jungle. The flash into the pull, but Shyvana is here. She's flying in under the tower, takes out the late game carry. Super Mega Death Rocket comes out, almost finishes off the Kaisa. Nuke survives with 2 HP.
God.
More sleep now continuing the chase. King Annihilator pretty low. Gonna go for the Elastic Slingshot out of there. Where's the last Flame Breath? Does connect. Very nice. I'm curious to see unfortunately, Etoe, my scoreboard is glitched. I can't see any of the items or the gold of the champions.
Oh no.
But can you see what build More Sleep is going for on the Shyvana? Can you
right now has the Frostfire Gauntlet built, has boots, and has a refillable potion.
Oh my goodness.
Frostfire
It's another Elastic Slingshot from Runner 90. More Sleep has nowhere to go. Didn't have the ultimate. Late game carry picks himself up another one.
Yo, these supports have been in bot lane like not at all this game. They are everywhere but bot. These ADCs are just farming solo. Which is entertaining. Like, I love it. I love to see roaming Blitzcrank and Threshers. I think that's just really much more fun.
Absolutely, yeah. The Hook champions just terrorizing the entire Rift right now. Very, very nice to watch.
Zach is just everywhere, and Zach is...
Yeah, true.
I'm surprised.
That's
Yeah,
another
I'm not
double
surprised
chain.
Zach
Freaking is this a solo kill? Annihilator drops the Ignite, and Nukes is just straight up dead. Easy as that solo kill in the mid lane. Venom looking for one of his own now. He's like, hey, I can do that too. Patrick will survive. Gonna back his way out of this one. But looks like Venom might be setting up a freeze here. Dragon number 2 alive now.
Almost 20 CS in that top lane, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't see CS numbers either. My entire scoreboard is just glitched to hell. But yeah, it seems like he's doing great. Oh, actually, I think I've managed to fix it. This is great.
Fantastic.
It's now fixed. Yeah, so we do see that Frostfire Gauntlet coming out for Shyvana. Makes a lot of sense. We do see that he went for press the attack there. More Sleep did on the Dragon Lady. So gonna go for the tank AD build. That is the Shyvana metagame these days, as he does have Dragon Form available once again. Gonna look to tie up this Dragon count. Shyvana, of course, with the passive, gets so much value from being able to pick up this neutral objective in particular, but look at where King Annihilator is on the LeBlanc, going for a wraparound. Runner 90 trying to set this one up on the Zac, flies in with the slingshot, can't connect, but the hook does land, and picks up Wolf will find herself 6 feet under. Late game carry now, gonna eat a little bit of poke from the Kaiser. Runner 90 on the front line, taking a lot of damage, but the last rocket, the flash away is too late for Bane. Jinx picks herself up a triple kill. Patrick Jones flashing in here, trying to pick up this kill onto the crank. One more auto will do it, and he does manage to get one back. King Annihilator is going to hunt him down. The chain misses. And Out of Blue is extremely low here on the Jinx with the slingshot. Runner 90, of course, nails it yet again. Counter-strike in. Oh, it's a shutdown. Massive shutdown for Patrick Jones on the Jax. That was a little bit of an oopsie there for Out of Blue, stepping too far forward into leap strike range. But it will be a double kill for the Annihilator. And overall, that was, I believe, the delayed ace coming through for MG Element. They did lose only their AE carry and their support.
For a second, I thought that Jax and Nukes were going to turn that around, but I think I thought Nukes was stronger than he actually is, because I forgot Nukes has been ganked to all hell.
Yeah,
he's been.
Went for the completion on the Manamune there first, which I think is pretty interesting there on the Kaisa. He's just pretty far from. He's only like halfway to actually fully stacking that one. So yeah, I mean, he's on kind of like half an item right now, honestly, is Nukes here on the Kaisa, as the hook will land again for late game carry, and Jinx is here for the follow-up. Gale Force in, LC, Bane running out of HP, the last rocket. Out of Blue now, 4-1 on the Jinx. He was left alone for so long down there in the bottom lane, and now he is coming alive here on Jinx from Arcane. Oh, that was close. That was close. Pixel felt that one right over her shoulder. Gonna leash the dragon out of the pit. Runner 90 has the smite. Easy peasy.
Locked down. With the possibility of Pixel sniping it away.
Right, exactly. Pixel actually didn't quite have the True Shot Barrage available yet, so nice timing there as the Ignite comes down with the Annihilator looking for a solo kill, but Thresh is here to protect Pixel Wolf this time around. She will survive, but the invade, I think, will not be stopped. It's a counter invade on the other side, though. More Sleep. This some very intelligent jungling, knowing that he does not have any control over his own bottom side right now. So Gonna invade the enemy at top side, try and get something for himself. Gonna go for Dragon Form into the mid lane now. Gale Force away for Out of Blue, dodges the death sentence, but the killer instinct from Nukes able to pick up his second of the game. Runner 90 flying in now with the elastic slingshot, but it's Fiora getting extremely low, trying to get the first kill, and finishes the grand challenge. Gets a little bit of healing, but does get taken out immediately as well. Kaisa has also fallen, got cleaned up there, but Runner 90 gonna go into the passive. King Annihilator lands the first chain onto the Thresh. Zac extremely low, the last blob. He will respawn. No, the last Mystic shot. It's Pixelwolf barely able to pick up the enemy jungler, but she will sacrifice herself. A bloodbath in the mid lane ends in a 3-for-3.
I mean, if you're Barber's fan club, you're really happy with the 3-for-3, right? If you can get any even trades, then that is amazing.
Some shutdowns there too.
Right.
Absolutely. Big one onto Jinx, I believe. Let's see here. I don't see any shutdowns. Oh yeah. Oh no, that was from earlier. Yeah, I don't see any shutdowns actually from that fight. It was Jax who got the shutdown in the previous fight, I guess, on the Jinx. So Out of Blue did not have another one. But you know,
shutdown on that LeBlanc right now. King Annihilator only got to 500.
True. Yeah, max stacks on the Doran's ring as well. Could potentially see a book if he wants to do a little bit of reading here. LeBlanc potentially. So more sleep is going to be able to lock down this second Rift Herald, I do believe. As was that a blind death sentence? Out of Blue, extremely low now, and will get taken out. Runner 90, a slingshot over the wall, does manage to escape, but Out of Blue
at some point, right? What? No way.
Yeah, I mean
what? Huh.
I mean, the ward in the bush behind the pit was just placed. That was not there before. Huh. I mean, there may be the ward that's a little bit farther back. Saw the Jinx walk up, so maybe he just predicted where Out of Blue was standing. But regardless, massive hook from LC Bane. Able to get another kill onto the enemy marksman. They are able to take the Herald as well as that mid-tier 1 tower. Really big swing for the fan club, honestly.
Yeah, fan club fighting back, only down 2k right now. Though being down 7 kills. They also have some objectives in their favor. See, Jax has been doing job. They've been taking towers. They're ahead on towers, actually.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that given the kills right now.
The Jax is actually fairly strong right now. Went for the Hullbreaker, did Patrick Jones. So he's committing to the side lane against the Fiora here. I think he will outscale eventually in that matchup.
Yeah, I like that. I like that decision.
Yeah, I think it could work out really well for him.
Like, they may not have as great team fight, but like I think if they do like a 1-4, I think Jax is an incredible split pusher, and they could use that.
Absolutely, but on the other side of the coin here, Etoe, the fan club is facing down Infernal Soul Point here in 90 seconds. And going Hullbreaker means that Patrick Jones is not going to be able to do a whole lot in this team fight. So it's going to be really difficult for them to try and deny this objective coming through. How do you think they should go about trying to contest this? Or do you think they should just give over the third dragon? Etoe?
I'm sorry. I had to read something on a notification. Can you repeat that? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. I was just saying, Infernal Soul Point here, gonna come through potentially in just under a minute for MG Element. And Jax going Hullbreaker means he's gonna struggle in the team fights. Although, here comes Runner 90 with the slingshot. Gonna find the stretchy strikes. Tower shot does come down onto the Jax.
Who's lying in wait here?
Yeah, Patrick Jones trying to bait it in, but Zac also has reinforcements.
Oh my goodness.
Super Mega Death Rocket is going to go wide, but a lot of CC coming down now. No carries are here for the side of Barber's fan club. They just don't have any damage. They're getting annihilated. 3 for nothing. 6-0 and 8 now for the King on the LeBlanc, and they are going to be very easily able to pick up this third dragon.
Oh, yeah.
And the fan club, they're really against it now.
Yeah, back against the wall for sure. Here, and like now I got to deal with the Infernal Soul Point. Oh, chat mentioned they spotted Jinx with the Squire's Bloom shortly before the hook play. Okay, so maybe it wasn't completely
thank you,
blind.
Twitch chat.
Yeah, maybe they had an idea of where Jinx was standing.
Yeah. So that just a good hook, honestly, from LC Bane. Had a general idea of where that Jinx could be, and just nails it. And you know, it was a great play for them. They were able to get a lot off of that, but then they kind of dropped the ball
Yeah.
immediately afterwards, where the team was not together. Kaisa and Ezreal were top and mid lane respectively, while the rest of the squad was trying to set up for that objective, and they were just got kind of, you know, divided. They fell,
Hmm.
and now it's a massive advantage, 4,000 gold for the side of MG, and they're just just a little bit of a waiting game now. 4 more minutes, you get that extremely powerful Infernal Soul on your LeBlanc, on your Jinx, and then honestly, you just walk over to Baron, probably pick that one up, and then you look for the Nexus. Easy playbook for MG Element, but the playbook for Harper's Fan Club is significantly more difficult to try and map out here. But Etoe, what you got for me? How do they get back in this one?
Look, I mean, catch-up mechanics, objective bounties are a thing now. They did just activate objective bounties. If they can continue having Jax take these side turrets, they'll get some global gold. Get back into it. Make sure that the Baron doesn't get taken. Fight for this Baron. If Patrick does get to a point where he could just kill LeBlanc, which I don't know if that's currently the case.
Oh, that's a big hook. Forces out the ultimate from more sleep. Oh, that's a big flame breath. Oh, but not AP Shyvana, I forget. So not
right.
The E's don't really pack as much of a punch. Oh, another.
Oh, wow.
Late game carry, not able to find that one. Death sentence from LC Bane is good. It's not going to mean too much.
Did Jax have teleport? Okay, yeah, Jax has teleport. I see Jax is all the way down there, and LeBlanc has walked all the way up from bot lane, so I did hope that Jax had teleport. Jax does in fact have teleport. If there was something to happen over here at the Baron, if they can't just get this Baron up, then it's probably going to be GG, I think.
Yeah,
it would just be they just lose so much if they get that Baron up.
I definitely agree there, Etoe. But Jax, you know, he's trying to do what you were just talking about. He's trying to get those objective bounties. Is going to be able to take out that tier 1 in the bottom lane. It's an extra 250 gold, 50 for each player here. Uh-oh, Nukes. Nukes, you're in danger. Not going to go for it, though. Runner 90 showing some good patience and a beautiful buffer, actually, there on the Arcane Shift for Pixel Wolf. But King Annihilator looking for it. Just getting a little bit of poke. Death Rocket going to be blocked by the full HP Shyvana. But it's just MG Element keeping up the pressure, pushing in these waves. Jax has not been answered in the side lane for quite a while, and Fiora will go over there to just put a stop to that now. Looking for Shyvana now in her jungle. Runner 90 going to fly in with the slingshot. Shyvana does have the ultimate available again, so tough to lock down the Dragon Lady. 2 minutes on Infernal Soul.
See if there's any action towards the Baron. The Baron is up now.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of effort put in by the side of MG Element to secure vision in the area, but they're not feeling ballsy enough to start it up just yet. And honestly, I do prefer this play. Baron is the objective on the map that carries the most risk, right? It does the most damage to you, and there are also the biggest punishment or the biggest rewards for the enemy team if you fail your execution on that. So they have the Infernal Soul coming up less than 90 seconds now. It's a much safer objective to try and fight for. So you just look to pick that up first. Then after you get that, then you're incredibly powerful. There's no shot that they're going to be able to match you in an even fight. And that's when you look for the Baron. So it's going to be MG Element moving now into this bottom side to secure their position, get ready for this fight. It's the Fan Club desperately trying to push in, trying to find their way into the river. The Blitzcrank walks forward menacingly, looks for the hook, just barely misses. King Annihilator did upgrade to the book, so he's very, very scary here on the LeBlanc. 2-item spike. Has the Shadow Flame. Lots of damage potential here. Gonna look for Patrick here in the side lane, I think. Kaisa W connects. They spot out what King Annihilator is going to go for here. Jumping away, but he just gets absolutely destroyed. Paxton Jones did not have enough resistances to survive, and now the rest of the team looks like they will follow. Shyvana dies, and now it's only Nukes and Pixel Wolf. Like, Arcane Shift back over the wall. Pixel trying to find something, and actually two go over to Nukes. Kaisa able to find a double kill for herself, but still, Jungler is alive, solo laners are alive, and Kaisa, there's just nothing she can do all by herself there. Does get cleaned up. That will be the 5-for-2 team fight win. Infernal Soul and Baron for MG Element. I think they've got game one in the bag.
Yeah, I that's definitely gonna be game.
Valiant attempt from Nukes there at the end, flying in with the Killer Instinct, able to find 2 of those low HP members. The bot lane of MG Element did get taken out there, but did not matter in the end. Runner 90, King Annihilator are just too strong in this game. They're way too far ahead. And yeah, they should just be a matter of time before they close this one out. You think we're looking at sub 30 minutes here, Etoe? What do you think?
I think it should be sub 30 minutes at this point. If they have the soul, they could just fight. I think they could just initiate any fight they want. It looks like Zach has no problem doing that. And that should lead into the Baron, lead into the objectives. I think they should get a big push. If they can get the Baron, I think they should end the game with it. So yeah, I think that should happen within the next 4 minutes. I believe that.
Okay, well, let's see. We're gonna look now for MG Elements. We want to see them close this one out nice and cleanly, right? They had suffered a couple of defeats over the last couple of weeks. They need to come back strong here tonight, and closing this one out cleanly is gonna do a lot in trying to reclaim their title as that definitive, top 2 team. Then I'm going to look for the 1v1 on the sideline here. Patrick Jones is a level down, and he just got completely sliced into ribbons. Venom maybe should rename himself to Rono Azoro. Looking like 3-sword style. Just absolutely annihilated Patrick Jones there. Kaisapo coming through a little bit, but revealed his position. Late game carry, going to try and hunt him down. It's a very interesting position for more sleep here on the Shyvana in the enemy Krug camp at the moment. Gonna look for some kind of miracle steal on the Baron here, but it's gonna be a tall order. Although the Jinx could be vulnerable.
Someone has to react to Fiora.
Yeah, Fiora is taking the base. Guys, your base, Barbaros. Your base is in trouble. Nobody is going back to stop Fiora.
Oh my god!
By the way, Pixel Wolf is dead.
Oh no!
So is their inhibitor.
Oh no!
And they just went off the Baron. So more sleep found a beautiful flank angle and was in a great position to try and go for the 50-50 there. And then he wasn't able to.
Yep. Meanwhile, they lost an inhibitor.
Just looking effortless right now from MG Element. They are doing exactly what we asked for. And they are closing this out extremely cleanly right now. Just beautiful the way they're pulling Barbara's fan club apart right now around the map. Very, very clean. It's more sleep running up here. He's trying to get in range to go for a steal. Kaisa is going to spot out Runner 90 here on the objective. More sleep is here. Going to jump into the pit. Look for the kill. Onto the Jinx, but the Gale Force out. Jinx will stay alive for now. Baron extremely low. It does go to Runner 90. He is good for the smite. True Shot Barrage almost lands on out of blue, but Jinx somehow survives through all of that was thrown at her. It will be the 3-for-1, another teamfight win, plus the Baron for MG. And now they're going to push in. Pixel Wolf is gone again, because that's level 16 LeBlanc. And yeah, you're just not allowed to leave your fountain anymore, Pixel Wolf. Sorry.
11-0-11.
Yeah. What a dominant performance for King Annihilator here. Really making a statement with this one. And, looking towards game 2, Etoe. Fanclub, they've got to be shaking in their boots.
Yeah.
Jones leaves his fountain. Don't know if that was the wisest decision, Mr. Jones. Fiora looking for a little bit more, finds it. Grand Challenge gets the healing. Bane is going to be completely destroyed as well. Nukes does not have any defenses. And, he barely makes it back onto the fountain. Venom looking for a little bit more. Over to 90, gonna go for it. Jump straight onto the Shyvana here. It's gonna be another chain connecting. Another execution. True Shot Barrage, once again, not going to find the mark. Runner 90 has the passive. Of course he does. King Annihilator gonna pick up number 12. And there goes the Nexus. Just under 30 minutes, Etoe. Beautiful.
Yeah, just under 30
Absolutely
minutes,
beautiful.
All right. For game 2, what to do? Not that. I guess. I think probably more for team fight. More for team fight. I don't think they a little bit or better early game. We were mentioning how the early game was not very stellar. They're not gonna really able to compete, especially as they fall behind.
Yeah.
And once they fell behind, they also get outscaled. Then it was just And then like that silent matchup didn't really work out for them. Eventually, Fiora just started running over Jax, which is not what you wanted to see. That's very much so not what they wanted to see. So that was gonna make that very rough.
I mean, given the skill differential in that top lane that we discussed at the beginning of the game, Patrick Jones held on for quite a while.
I agree.
He was in there.
I 100% agree. I was thinking that. I was like, but at the same time, not bad. Better than I would have done. Not
Yeah,
bad. I'm around that
yeah.
same elo defense. I would have gotten crushed. So not bad, and was not afraid either. Was not afraid to go for the fight. So not
Definitely.
bad.
Yeah. He had a couple of really good looks, honestly. Getting that big shutdown on Jinx, saw the angle as soon as Out of Blue overstepped a little bit in that fight. Of course, it was still a fight that the fan club lost significantly, severely. But, Jones had some flashes of brilliance in this one. Really, I think, Ito, what we saw in this game was Kaisa mid just getting absolutely preyed on,
Oh
just
my
got
god, I
eaten
forgot. I
alive
almost forgot. There could be
by
a
Zach and
montage.
LeBlanc in that mid lane.
There could be a
Yeah, it
montage of
was
what
just
happened
gank
mid. Yeah.
after gank after gank after
Yeah.
gank after kill after kill after kill.
Yeah.
And
It was pretty
Nukes,
disgusting.
he wanted to go for the Kaisa. It's a flashy pick. He wanted to style on what looked to be a struggling MG element. He,
Hmm.
had some success with it in solo queue, but it's just so difficult to make this pick work in coordinated play. And even we did see when he got his 2-item spike nukes on the Kaisa, he was blowing people up. Like he had a
Yeah.
lot of damage. But they
True.
were just already so far behind. Like King Annihilator was just in full control of that game at that point.
100% true. So yeah, probably a more solid pick. Some more solid picks. That's a little bit less flashy. And I think they, and, I think Barbara Speckler can pick it back. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and set up for game two. Gonna get the links and all that stuff in the lobby debate and all that, and we will be back for more action after a short break and some music.